Storming ashore, Hurricane Brett slams into the Texas Gulf Coast with powerful winds and driving rain. Ready or not, Texas residents brace themselves for a powerful blow. Sensing trouble, experts try to figure out how this storm grew so big, so fast. And a few last miracles aside, rescue crews in Turkey are ending the search for survivors.
This is the CBS Evening News with John Roberts.
Good evening. The first hurricane of the 1999 season is a monster, and it is battering the coast of Texas tonight. Hurricane Brett is taking aim on a stretch of coastline between Brownsville and Corpus Christi with sustained winds of 140 miles per hour, making it a dangerous Category 4 storm. The Federal Emergency Management Agency says it has the potential to be a major disaster. We have expanded coverage of Hurricane Brett tonight, beginning with Bob McNamara in Baffin Bay.
This is Baffin Bay on the South Texas coast. It's about 30 miles south of Corpus Christi. It's an area of fishing resorts, small farms, and some family homes. It's a relatively sparsely populated area, but some forecasters say it could be in or near the bullseye of Hurricane Brett when it comes ashore. All day here, the winds and the rains have been building. And though some say they will stay here and ride out the storm, others say they're scared and they're getting out.
We're just taking a guess right now where we're going to go, but we're going away from the water.
As Tola Lunas' children watch her, she packs all of the things she can never replace. The trophies, the photo albums, the memories of 15 years on Baffin Bay.
Like if I were to drive back here in 2 days and find out my house is leveled, I will not feel that upset because I can replace the home, but I will have my family and my things with me and start all over.
Outside, Greg Lunas has dismantled a wooden fence to board up the windows of the house. And as the winds and rains intensify, he's scared Hurricane Brett could bring a wall of water that might level his waterfront home.
Tide surge is one of the main concerns, and the tornadoes that are normally associated with hurricanes is another thing that I worry about.
Nearby, men boarded up the stained glass windows at Our Lady of Consolation Catholic Church. The church will be a shelter tonight for anyone needing it.
We had a hurried mass so everybody could go home and get prepared. Said a few prayers.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is worried that a storm surge, a 15-foot wall of water, could inundate this place when the hurricane comes ashore. They're also concerned that people here are not leaving fast enough. And in that, they say, a major disaster could be at hand. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Baffin Bay, Texas.
Hurricane Brett is the first Category 4 storm to hit the U.S. mainland since Andrew in 1992 and the first to hit Texas since Hurricane Carla back in 1961. And with memories of those disasters well in mind, no one along the coast was taking any chances today. Cynthia Bowers is at the northern end of the warning zone in Corpus Christi.
The winds are now gusting and are expected to pick up, with predictions for Corpus Christi of gusts between 70 and 120 miles per hour. Corpus Christi has weathered some deadly and dangerous storms, but never a Category 4 hurricane like Brett. Today's exodus jammed major thoroughfares as many of the nearly 300,000 people who live in this port city made their way inland on the advice of authorities preparing to deal with what could be the fiercest storm ever to hit this close to Corpus Christi.
This is a very serious storm. We're taking it very seriously, and we're asking for their cooperation.
Officials are concerned about complacency in this coastal resort. The last major hurricane to hit this area was more than a decade ago, and they're worried people won't take warnings seriously. The residents tell us Hurricane Brett has them scared. There is a real sense of danger.
I am concerned. I'm from Florida originally, and there it wasn't, as bad. Here it seems like there's a little bit more of a panic, and it's making me a little bit nervous.
Nonetheless, Jackie is planning to ride this one out and was stocking up on groceries this morning at one of the few stores still open in Corpus Christi.
We've been selling cases of pallets of water, pallets of potted meats, pallets of any kind of fruit or anything else that they can find that they need to buy. We're trying to keep up.
As fast as Stan Riley is stocking, many of the shelves here have emptied as people prepare to take shelter. Debbie Pauline says this storm intensified so quickly, she was caught off guard.
I have a lot of animals, I have a lot of kids, and when you're trying to get out this late, You might get stuck in the storm in a car. I'd rather be in my house.
The hurricane isn't the only concern here in Corpus Christi. This city is under a tornado watch and a flash flood watch as well. John?
While every hurricane has its own distinct character, some scientists say Brett appears to be following a pattern seen in other storms. How did a relatively small hurricane suddenly grow into a monster? Jeffrey Kaufman tonight with some new theories on that.
As hurricanes go, Brett began the weekend as a pretty meek one. But by late Saturday, Brett had transformed itself into a tiger, leaping from a Category 2 to a Category 4 in just a few hours. Something happened. Scientists suspect the eddy effect. The red area on this heat-sensitive map shows a deep puddle of warm water in the Gulf. Late yesterday, Brett passed right over that eddy, and that's just when it intensified.
An eddy affects the hurricane by providing more heat to the atmosphere. Of course, the more heat to the atmosphere, the greater the chances of intensification for these systems.
That's exactly what happened in 1995 when Hurricane Opal crashed into the Florida Panhandle. Just before Opal hit, its moderate winds intensified from 98 to 150 miles an hour. Opal had passed over an eddy. The eddies are constantly being formed as the warm Caribbean current winds through the Gulf. The giant eddies break off and slowly spin across, taking months to hit the west coast, where they disintegrate. Using high-tech temperature gauges, scientists are now tracking the eddies' impact on hurricanes.
The good news is we know where the eddies are this year. The bad news is it's in phase with hurricane season.
It's not simply about proving theory. It's about helping scientists predict the strength and the path of hurricanes so that people have time to prepare. Jeffrey Kaufman, CBS News, New York.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, little hope for finding any more miracle survivors of the Turkish earthquake.
Where will you be when your grandson gets his first taste of the ocean? When man walks on Mars? When your children want to discover their heritage? Life is filled with moments you don't want to miss. That's why if you have high cholesterol and heart disease, you should know about Zocor. Zocor is proven to help save lives by reducing the risk of a heart attack. So where will you be tomorrow? That could depend on what you do today. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medication and is not right for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems, because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor, and about any medicines you are taking. For more information, talk to your doctor or call. Zocor, it's your future. Be there.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
The toll of confirmed dead from last week's earthquake in Turkey passed 12,100 today, though the final toll could reach 40,000. Incredibly, 2 more people were found alive. But Randall Pinkston tells us it's clear organized rescue efforts are ending.
Adelet Chetinol may be one of the final miracles of this earthquake. 52 years old and disabled, she was found alive after 130 hours. But now, following 6 desperate days of feverish struggle, the search and rescue teams and the Turkish government have decided there will likely be no more miracles. The Swiss have left. The team from Virginia will leave soon. And the mountains of concrete have now been turned over to the bulldozer crews. But on the main street of Adapazari, which is about as bad as it gets around here, these people won't give up, doggedly searching for what they believe is a survivor. Then, the sad reality. No one is alive here. Soon they will join their neighbors in salvaging what they can, anything to start over again. A sewing machine, furniture, curtains. There's never a good place for an earthquake, but this one couldn't have occurred in a worse location. This city is one of several in the epicenter of Turkey's industrial production. 1/3 of the nation's wealth is produced here. But with massive power disruptions, shortages of fuel and water, and a shattered workforce, Turkey is at a standstill. By one estimate, the earthquake cut commerce by $250 million a week, money that will never be recovered. The good news is that many of the largest factories escaped damage. But until these people have somewhere to live, food, and safe running water, Turkey's industrial health is the least of their concerns. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Adapazari, Turkey.
Just in case that basketball scholarship doesn't work out. You'll need something to fall back on, like school. Get everything for back to school. Come into Office Depot. Low prices every day.
Allergies knocking you flat? Try non-drowsy Allegra. Only Allegra has fexofenadine. For people 12 and over, ask your doctor or pharmacist for more information. Side effects are low and may include drowsiness, cold or flu, nausea, or menstrual pain. Allegra, so you can enjoy the world around you.
Today, millions of people are living fuller lives. Free to go and do whatever they please, whenever they please. All because of the extra protection they get from Depend. Leading store brands are 50% more likely to leak than Depend. So get Depend and get all the confidence you need to live life to the fullest.
Get all you want out of life with Depend.
Sign here? Sorry, I only have a minute.
In so many ways, in so many places, it keeps 1 million disasters a day from happening. It's like having a life insurance policy you never knew you had.
Gotta go.
It's plastics.
There's my good girl.
Plastics make it possible.
As the nation's schools reopen, teachers are increasingly worrying about security and behavioral issues that rarely concerned them before. To the already long list of worries, add one more: academic honesty, or the lack of it. That's tonight's Sunday cover. High-tech cheating, as simple as a double click, but a lot harder to stop. 16-year-old honor student Leah Solowski has always used hard work to get good grades. But last year, she crossed the line when she was assigned to write a paper in Spanish about the importance of eating a healthy diet.
I just didn't think I'd get caught. So I went on the internet and I looked up a healthy diet in Spanish. And it brought up a whole bunch, and I just picked one, I printed it out, and I retyped it, and I turned it as my own work. Since I don't have school on Monday yet.
But Leah did get caught. She got an F on her assignment and a strike against her academic record for cheating. Her school has a strict honor code. But if you ask Leah if she cheated...
In a sense, but I didn't think it was a big deal, as it really turned out to be. I thought it was like a small thing, since it was a homework assignment. I didn't think it was like, oh, I'm cheating on a test or anything like that.
Any question about the directions?
And that laissez-faire attitude toward cheating is approaching epidemic proportions in America. Nearly 90% of high school students admit they cut corners by copying homework, cheating on tests, and plagiarizing papers. And an estimated 70% of college students admit to cheating.
You certainly can't deny that there's a bull market in plagiarism right now, and part of that is a result of the internet.
Barbara Glatt is a former English professor who now runs a website dedicated to helping teachers identify and cope with cheating. She says easy access on the internet to everything from research papers to publications is threatening the very concept of education.
Academic honesty speaks to the integrity of the entire learning process. And so when you tamper with that, and when you have plagiarism going on, then no learning is taking place, and that affects all of us.
Yet,
into this Little Rock High School. Why would they do that?
Christopher Mack is a senior and straight-A student in Austin, Texas. He's never done it, but says fierce competition for good grades drives many students to cheat.
It can definitely be intense, especially when you're vying for scholarships and things like that, and you know every grade affects your GPA, and your GPA affects the kind of colleges you can be admitted into.
14-year-old junior Sarah Schulman says teachers don't know how to handle the problem.
Teachers aren't really stopping it, at least in none of the classes I have. I see students cheating all the time, and it's a really big loss for those of us who do study.
I don't let any instance of academic cheating go by unnoticed or uncharged.
Colleges with stringent honor codes, like the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, strive to eliminate academic dishonesty, but can't catch everyone. Senior Drew Haywood, an investigator with UNC's Honor Court, listens to as many as 60 cheating cases each semester.
I think academic cheating is a bigger problem here than, say, drug use, for example. It's a problem that we constantly have to work on.
For Leah Solowski, who starts classes this week, that means resisting temptation. With one strike for cheating already against her, 2 more, and she's out.
I might think about it, but, well, right now I think I'm going to look back on what happened to me. And it should be a lesson to me not to do it again. So at this point, I probably won't.
Would-be cheaters at the college level beware. More schools are putting cheating incidents on students' disciplinary records. And more employers are asking to see those records before they hire. There's a happy event at the San Diego Zoo, the birth of a baby giant panda. Zookeepers say the cub appears to be healthy, but it's too early to tell its gender. The cub is the first to be born in the Western Hemisphere since 1990. And updating our top story today, Hurricane Brett, a powerful Category 4 storm, is moving in on the Texas Gulf Coast this evening with sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. The eye wall has now passed over Padre Island. Stay with CBS and the CBS station for the latest on this dangerous storm. I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night and a good week.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Experience you can trust. CBS News.
Up next,